Do you feel like you have nobody to practice your English speaking with? Every English teacher on YouTube tells you, practice is important, you should practice, practice makes perfect, but you don't really know how, where, and who to practice your English speaking with. Well, don't worry because today I'm going to share with you 5 different ways you can use to practice your English speaking from home. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Asim, I'm a polyglot. On this channel, we help young people like you speak English fluently and confidently while enjoying the process. So let's dive in. I have been learning English for more than 3 years by now. In the beginning, it was really difficult for me to find someone who I could practice my English speaking with because I don't live in an English speaking country. I didn't have many international friends back then and I couldn't afford a private teacher. But after doing a lot of research, I found some really interesting ways that I used to practice my English speaking. I'm going to share with you 5 of those ways or methods that you can use to practice your English speaking from home. The first way you can practice your English speaking from home is to speak in front of a mirror. You've probably already heard of this method, but I did this differently from other people. I would choose a different topic for each day. So let's say I would tell myself, today I'm going to talk about my best friend. And for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I would talk about my best friend to myself in front of a mirror. The other thing I did was, I would visualize that I'm having a conversation with someone. So I didn't just talk to myself because that gets boring, let's be honest. But when you visualize that you're speaking with another person, that you're speaking with a real person, then it really gets interesting. Now this might be weird at first because there's nobody, you're just having a conversation with yourself. But over time you will get used to it, trust me. Just keep doing it every single day. I would recommend this method especially for beginners because when you're feeling shy, you feel like your English is not good enough to talk to other people, then you can just talk with yourself. But if you're an intermediate level learner or advanced learner, there are other better ways you can improve your English speaking skills. That brings us to the second way of practicing your English, which is to find other English learners and speak with them. This is really enjoyable because you get to meet new people, you become friends with other English learners, and it's just a really nice experience. And this is the method I used the most in the past 3 years of my English learning journey because it was quite fun and enjoyable. Now you might ask me, but Asim, where do I meet those people? How do I find English learners who I can practice my English with? Well, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to join Facebook groups about the things you like. And then eventually, if you engage in those groups, you're gonna like some people and then you can text them. Once you become friends with them, you can invite them to have conversations with you in English, and it's gonna improve your English a lot. No matter what platform you use, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you can find English learners or other people who you can become friends with and practice your English speaking with. Personally, I used Facebook. That's how I met a lot of my friends. Once you make a few online friends, you can ask them to introduce you to their friends who you can become friends with, and then from there you can practice with them and improve your English. The third way you can practice your English speaking from home is to practice on websites and apps. There are a lot of free websites and apps, community platforms where you can speak with other English learners and improve your English. Finding other people and practicing your English with them is great, as we discussed, but this is gonna take some time. It might take days or even weeks to meet new people, become friends with them, and get comfortable with them to the point where you can have conversations with them on a phone call. So that might take a while, but if you're looking for a quick way to practice your English speaking, there are a lot of websites and apps like that lets you have conversations with other people. You can do some research on Google, but I'm going to talk about the ones I used in the past few years of my learning journey. The first one I used the most is Free4Talk. I have been using it since 2021 I think, and it's great. It's a really quick and great way to practice your English. All you have to do is log in with your Google account and then you can join other people's rooms, which are groups. So once you join a group, you can say hi, hello, and start having a conversation with other people in English. It's super great. The second website I kind of used for a while is Clubhouse. It's, I think, an app, not website. Clubhouse is like a group discussion platform. The great news is there are a lot of native speakers in Clubhouse. Another one is HelloTalk. I haven't used this myself, but some of my friends used it, and They said that it was good and it's a nice platform where you can practice your English. So if you want to practice your English speaking right away, join one of those platforms and start speaking. The next method to practice your English speaking is to speak with an advanced English learner. Speak with someone whose English level is higher than you. The only way to improve your English and get rid of your mistakes is to get feedback from others. You need others to give you feedback. You need others to correct your mistakes. Because, as you might know, we're completely unaware of our mistakes. We don't notice our mistakes at all, but they're so obvious to others. Others can easily point out our mistakes and correct them for us. But how do you find someone who speaks with you, corrects your mistakes, and gives you feedback? Well, one way to do that is to hire a private teacher. But it's not an option I would recommend for everybody because it's too expensive. A cheap way to practice your English speaking and get feedback on your English is to book a one-on-one call with me. So recently I started doing one-on-one calls with my students. The way they work is that you book an hour-long session with me. We choose a topic and then we talk about the topic in English. We have a conversation about that topic. I point out your mistakes as we speak. I give you feedback on what things to improve and how. And basically, I help you become fluent in English. I help you speak English fluently and confidently. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to speak with me on a one-on-one call, the next method to practice your English speaking from home is to speak with native English speakers. Become friends with them and talk with them to practice your English. But how do you find native English speakers and become friends with them? Well, it's the same as we discussed in method 2. You join communities about the things you like. Maybe you can join groups about watching TV shows and series, watching animes, because a lot of Americans watch animes. So if you join groups about animes, chances are you're gonna meet some native English speakers. Once you find someone interesting in the group, maybe they post something, maybe you see someone in the comments that you find interesting, don't be shy. DM them, text them, say hi, and let them know that you are in the same group and that you like the same thing. One mistake I've seen a lot of English learners make is that they text native speakers and they say something like this: "Hey, please bro, practice English with me. I'm a beginner. I need to improve my English." I think it's a very selfish way of asking someone, because you're literally asking someone to do you a favor. You're not providing them any kind of value. So if you want to become friends with someone, you have to provide them value. That value could be entertainment, you could be a good listener, you could listen to their problems, or you can make jokes and make them laugh. So if you DM someone, if you text a native English speaker and you want to become friends with them, don't say, "Hey bro, help me improve my English." That's very selfish. Instead, give them a compliment. Start talking about something they are interested in. Once you get comfortable with them, you can then later on ask them to have English conversations with you. Practicing your English with native English speakers is quite useful because, as you know, it's their mother tongue, it's their native language. They know it almost perfectly, they can speak it almost perfectly. I've had quite a few native English speaker friends, and the more I talk with them, the more I realize that my accent improves and my pronunciation improves, and I learn new words and vocabulary from them. Alright, if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching call with me, my email is in the description. I hope you've learned something from this lesson. See you in the next one. Bye bye.